Now, I noticed yesterday that we had spent about 15 minutes fooling around with photo-etch. And I think maybe what we should do is give photo-etch a rest for a bit. And talk about plastic. However, I'm curious to know, and I honestly have not tried it yet, how well will this fit on here? Well, that's odd. I would have thought it would have covered the back, but I guess the back was open. It seems to me there was a machine gun or something sticking out of the back here. Anyway, let's leave the photo-etch for a little bit. And I was wondering if we couldn't, and so was some of the viewers, if we couldn't maybe use these little parts here to glue in place to like, where's my tweezers gone again? Okay, whoops. Would it be possible to glue these in so that it looks like where they the panel lifted up so that it could fit? It would go right in here somehow, something like that. I don't know. I'm going to get out Stefan's book and give it a little better look here. Now, you remember we were talking about the canopy a minute ago, and we weren't going to talk about it anymore, but don't know if you can see it, but you can see that there's a space right in here where it's open. We'll talk about that more when we actually get back to the canopy. However, this piece right here that I'm touching right now on the photo, I'll zoom in a bit. Okay, now maybe you can see it a little better. This piece right here is the piece that folded up so that the wing could tuck in by this, around this float strut, the way we've done it right here. You see? Okay, now these little pieces here, it was suggested that maybe we could put them in. See if I can hold this from moving. And have them, situated in such a way. I think I'm going to have to trim them down. Okay, so my thinking now is, instead of using this, which moves when I bump against it, I could possibly use something that's a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more solid maybe? see how this works. Yeah, I think that's going to be okay. As long as I keep my electric drill handy to get it in and out quickly. Don't know if it's going to be in the way or not. Probably is. Now, back to this. Now, these little pieces of plastic are in pretty rough shape. And, did I lose one? Oh, still on the wing. I thought maybe I vacuumed it up. I vacuumed here a few minutes ago and I thought, oh no, I'm going to have to go through my vacuum bag. Wouldn't be the first time. Now, something that is really difficult for me lately is to hold on to something really small like this and try and, file off the rough edges like the burrs and so on, like this one here that's on the wing. It's in the right position more or less. Guess it could come a little bit more further forward. And one of the viewers reminded me, thank you very much, that, and I mean it, thank you very much, that I'm poking at stuff way too much. And I'm just making people seasick. So I got to quit that. So what I want to do is see if I can't, use something like this. The problem is when you have something like this and you squeeze it really hard, if it all of a sudden was to slip out, it's what I call it pings off. I don't know if that's the right term, but it slips out and it goes shooting off, and it can literally go across the room. You'll hear it hit the wall on the other side. And then, of course, you can kiss it goodbye because you'll never find it. Well, I guess you could. Anyway, like that one in there is pretty rough. Now, these are clearly not the same width. They're the same, would you call it the same width or length? It doesn't matter. Anyway, you can see they're different. But I'm not going to try and stop poking. I'm trying to straighten it out. Okay, I'm obviously not going to try and shorten this one down so it matches this one. Just get rid of the burrs because I'm gonna poke at it. Okay, if we turn it like this, we're going to be looking at it from this direction, edge on. That's what I meant by paying off, but fortunately it's just right here. There's got to be a way to hold something that is wedge-shaped like that. If it was perfectly square, it'd be easy, or easier, let's put it that way. But because of the shape of the thing, it has the natural tendency to want to go, as I say, pinging out. Now this edge here is pretty good. I don't need to worry about that. I just want to get rid of those burrs. Maybe if I did it like this. Well, I'm sanding the tweezers. Well, I'll think of something. Okay. Now what if I was to take and put some masking tape like this? Let's get it just right. Now we'll take the other one. We'll go like this. Okay, now when I squeeze the little item, it's sort of cushioned a little bit. Guess I don't need all that excess masking tape. I just want it to be easy to remove later because I don't want to leave that on there. Now what would happen if I was to take this piece? I guess I should be moving in a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now this thing is just so small. Let's try it let's get it burr side down. You know, you wouldn't believe the amount of time that I sometimes spend or waste, doing something like this. When I got up this morning, my outside thermometer said 0 Celsius. That'd be like 32 Fahrenheit, which means winter's coming on. I should be outside rigging up my cords so I can plug in my car this winter. I took it all down from the springtime, so gotta put it back for the winter. But what am I doing? I'm messing around with a little piece of plastic. So many millions of other important things I should be doing. Now, even if I can just get one edge good and have that edge showing, this one here is pretty good. The edge that's facing you is I must have cleaned that one up before. Obviously it was easier to hold on to. Yeah. Well, it's a lot better than it was. I almost lost it a couple of times, but when it pinged out of my tweezer, it landed in a place where I could see it. So I'm going to quit before I completely lose it. That didn't sound good, did it? Okay, it's the one on the right. And that's the one that I just cleaned up, and it looks pretty good. So I'll just work on the one on the left now. It wasn't too bad to start with, and yeah, then we'll glue them on the wing. I think that looks okay. Now I'm just going to let the extra thin run down. I'm going to try not to actually touch that piece because I know it'll stick to the applicator. There. Now I've glued the other one on exactly the same way. I'm using my wide tweezer here. I took the masking tape off of it. And the idea is that if I use the wide tweezer, I'm holding onto more of the segments of the photo etch at the same time. Might be just a little bit stronger. And I think we've worked on plastic enough. I can go back to photo etch, okay? Okay. And I'm going to just do each corner individually. Get it adjusted just right. put a little bit of CA thin on it, let it solidify, or cure rather, and yeah, I'll zoom in so that you can see. Okay, this one's got itself, you might say, bent out of shape here. And guess what, with all the handling and everything, try and get it. Okay, we're going to do this corner right here. That looks pretty good. I think that if I put a little bit of CA thin, it should just sort of, like the capillary reaction in a fountain pen, it should just go right down that seam there, and we don't need very much. I've already put a couple of applications on there and I forgot to push record. That should do it. I don't know if you noticed it, but I did. The CA thin was sort of beading a little bit along the photo-etch metal. And I think probably what happened was I got a little bit of grease off my fingers onto the metal. What I should have done was drop that canopy into the ultrasonic cleaner, and for a few seconds, and with some detergent, and made sure it was spotlessly clean, and this may not have happened. On the other hand, maybe it would have. I don't know. Well, there's 3 more canopies to go. I'll make sure that I do the ultrasonic thing with them. I don't think the ultrasonic will hurt those canopies. Okay, we have just done this one right here that I'm just touching now. Well, we gotta, try and move this one up a little bit here. It's not quite, maybe just a tiny bit more. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Move this in just a little. Maybe my tweezer isn't tight enough. That looks pretty square. Now clearly I had enough on. You can see that those two struts there were being held together. Now yes, there was a little gap, but the gap was filled with the CA glue. When that cured, it would have been really strong. Well, really strong for its size, let's put it that way. But I went ahead and I put some more on. I guess I got to learn to quit while I'm ahead. No, I don't think it hurt anything. It's just that I didn't need to put any more on. Now, those of you who were watching yesterday's video on the new macro lens, well, this is as close as I can get with it. Now, for the front of the canopy, we have these 3 separate panels, one like this on each side, and then of course the windshield on the front. And I think I've got it pretty good here on this one, this joint right here. I think it's pretty good. But you see right up there's that little window. If I get too aggressive with my CA glue, it's going to fill that. It might anyway. So I think when I touch, I'm going to touch it down here and just let it wick its way up. And then I'm going to assume that it's actually all the way, even though I can't see it. Okay, I'm going to try and kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. If I can get in here without moving anything. Okay, now remember, just because I can't see it doesn't mean it didn't get all the way up there. I'm pretty sure it made it. I'm noticing when I move the light around, I can see the reflection off the CA glue, and yeah, it's good. Well, thanks for watching, and all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.